Good evening, YouTubers. I'm working my way to the front of the boat after having quite a few gin and tonics. So yes, I don't want to fall in the water, which is just down there, but I want to talk about copyright and music and stuff like that. There's Gibraltar. So I'll try and keep close so that you can hear me. Now, I've been listening to music tonight on YouTube, and it brings back so many memories. I mean, this is not obviously something that just happens to me. Okay, I'm sure we all listen to music and it reminds us of times in our lives, who we were with, for example, and where we were. And I think that's amazing, you know, how a piece of music can relate to a time and a place and who we were with. And I think it's brilliant, but we can't do it, can we? We're not allowed, because the copyright police are on us, and they say no. And I think that's wrong, because a lot of us want to, if you have any video footage going back to that time, you know, you think, well, what better way to talk about what was important to us at the time, you know, what we were into at the time, the music. And copyright is bollocks. Now, I understand why copyright on music exists and copyright on anything exists. Okay, I'm not knocking it, but there should be a time limit on it. And after so many years, I think that copyright should expire. Right, you no longer have copyright after a certain period of time. That's what I think. I mean, I've had loads of grief because I upload stuff from the 1940s, for example, in relation to aeroplanes and stuff. And they go, no! It's copyright police, right? You can't say that. You can't do that. I said, why? It's real, and it's valid, and it's important, and it's relevant. And it's wrong. Copyright should expire. Okay. All right. Look, if you're an artist and you create some music or a film or whatever, right? Of course you are entitled to copyright. Of course you are, and I would say for a limited period. I don't know what that period should be, you know, 50 years, 40 years, 30 years, I don't know. But the people who initiate what is copyright and what isn't should think about, well, how long does a copyright actually last on something? I mean, come on, most of us, like, for example, I grew up in the 1960s, 1970s. I was in my teenage years, still at school. Okay, we were starting to experiment with alcohol, for example. Probably about 1974, 75. I mean, that's a guess, but roughly around that. And me and my mates, right, we used to rock up at our house, and we'd drink cider. We'd drink Woodpecker or Strongbow, and we'd listen to records, you know, LPs. And my mates would have LPs, and we'd put LPs on, and we'd listen to music. We'd drink cider and we'd talk about shite, you know, whatever the fuck. And I really, really recollect the Shadows, Apache, and Elton John as like, cause we didn't have a lot of LPs, but they were the two of the LPs that we used to play over and over while we were sitting there getting drunk and talking about shit. But if you were to make a video, if you had a camera that long ago, which I don't, but if we did have, and we were talking, we were filming each other that long ago, and we were into the music of the time, you know, we'd get a copyright strike, wouldn't we? And I think it's wrong. I think copyright on music, if you're an artist and you create music, there should be a time limit, okay, on how long you can claim copyright on that music. I mean, come on, people like Adele, who wrote a song for James Bond film. I'm going big time, massive here, right? Huge, but how many years? I think 10 years would be fair. I think 10 years would be fair. Then it's free for all, honestly. I think 10 years should be the point. I can't think of the right word. There is a right word, isn't there, for 10 years? And I've had lots of gin and tonics, and I really, you know, want to talk about my life, and I want to talk about the music that was really important to me at the time. I mean, I was a truck driver. I'll give you this as an example. I was a truck driver, and that's what I did as a job. And I had the radio in the cab. You just press the radio, and I listened to all kinds of music: Radio 1, Radio 2, Radio 3, Radio 4. And you just flick around the channels, just getting some sort of input. And you'd hear all kinds of songs while you were being a truck driver, because I was a truck driver. That's what I did. You know, that was I was a pilot. I flew airplanes, but not in a commercial, big time way. Only in a private way. And you know, I always wanted to sort of be the big time pilot, but I never was. I have a commercial. No, I don't know. I have a private pilot's license. I have a commercial captain's license for boats, not for airplanes. And at certain times in your life, there is music that comes out in the charts and shit like that. And I think it's really important, you know, if you have videos going back that far, I think it's important to reflect the kind of music that was around at the time that you were doing stuff. And if you get a copyright strike because you had, I don't know, what was he called? The Irish fella. I don't like Mondays. 1979, I'll just move this. 1979, I was in training in the Royal Corps Transport, Buller Barracks, and the Boomtown Rats came out with a song called I Don't Like Mondays. And we had a drill peg. I was in intake 5909, was it? Can't remember. Anyway, the intake that I was in, I must have started in the summer of 1979. Intake 59. And old drill pigs were giving us shit, of course, and then it was a 10-week course, and I think halfway through the course we had a guy called Corporal Monday. He had blonde hair. He was actually a really nice guy, and we got on with him really well, you know. But then the Boontown Rats brought out this song called I Don't Like Mondays, and it was something to do with a girl in America who shot a lot of people. Anyway, we sort of changed the words of the song so We Don't Like Monday, and Monday was actually all right. To be fair to Corporal Monday, and I've never seen him since. You know, I only met him for a very, very brief time in 1979 before we passed out, because he joined the regiment, and I passed out in October of 1979. I've never seen him since. But he was all right. He was a good lad, but because his name was Corporal Monday, and the Boontown Rats brought out the song "Tell Me Why I Don't Like Monday, I'm Gonna Shoot the Bastard Down." You know, we always used to sing it about him, and that was completely unfair. Completely unfair, because he was actually a really nice guy. You know, he wasn't a bastard at all. There's nothing offensive about him at all that I can remember. Oh, I don't know if he's dead now. I have no idea. But it was just the way it was at the time. And I feel that if I want to talk about when I was in the military and what sort of songs are going through the charts at the time that we listened to at the time, you know, the Gordon is a moron, ooh, you know, there was loads of songs. Debbie Harry was massive. I was in love with Debbie Harry. Come on, who wasn't? And I think it's important to include music that was relevant at the time in our lives. Come on, guys, you for sure have music that was important and relevant to you at the time, and to get a copyright strike if you talk about it or play it, I think that's out of order. I genuinely think it's out of order, because it's part of your life that you recognise as part of your life. I do. So, at the end of the day, what I'm trying to say is that yes, of course, people, creators of music, are entitled to copyright. Of course they are. You know, they're the creators. I'm a bit pissed. I do apologise. They're the creators of this music. I mean, Adele has had millions of views. But you got to draw the line somewhere. You got to draw the line somewhere. You got to say, how many years? So you have genuinely got the copyright for how many years? Answers down below, guys and girls. You know, what is a reasonable figure for copyright on anything? Because I think we should challenge copyright, and after a certain amount of years, it should be free for all to include and use music or whatever in our own videos. But what is a reasonable period of time to put on a copyright issue? You know, I don't know. 50 years? Is 50 years reasonable? Or should it be longer or less? I don't know. What do you think? Answers down below.